Let's do it.
I think I needed it. Oh, yeah. You figure it out. Welcome back to another episode of Fantasy Football Semi-Pros. I'm Brandon. Wow.
Wow. I don't even know my own name. I'm so delusional.
I'm trying to say multiple things.
That's all we got, folks. See you next time.
I'm Brandon. With me is my fellow semi-pro Ryan.
That's it. I'm a semi-pro.
Ryan, how are you today?
I'm tired, man. I haven't slept all week. I don't know what's going on. Will you turn that off?
I was making sure we could hear you since you were playing with your mic.
Oh, I turned it up. We're good. Haven't slept. Who cares? It's almost Friday. Ready to go.
Turn yours down.
All right, oh.
Well, we're going to go ahead and jump into some things. So we'll start with...
I want to play a game too.
Okay.
Let's play.
So this one's actually not going to be football related. Figure out we go a little bit off the walls here.
Okay, let's go off the walls.
So this is two truths and a lie.
Cooked spaghetti.
This is two truths and a lie.
Because cooked spaghetti sticks to the wall. That's why I said unlike cooked spaghetti.
All right, two truths and a lie.
Okay, two truths, one lie.
So, first one, if there are 23 people in a room, there is a 50% chance that at least two of them will have the same birth date. The second one, dolphins are the sole exception to mammals having hair. And the third one, it takes 14 days to make one jelly bean. Which one's a lie?
23 people in a room, 50% chance that two people have the same birthday. Is it the jelly bean?
Nope.
It's dolphins have hair?
Dolphins, apparently, they are born with hair initially, and they lose it as they get older. Yeah.
Still sounds like a lie to me.
Well, that one is a lie. Yeah, I found that one kind of amazing as well. All right, so we'll go ahead and get into some football-related stuff now.
What do you think about my trade? Let's bring that up real quick. I thought it was a good trade.
There was a lot of moving parts.
Okay, so the gist of it is I traded what has potential to be a top 3 pick in the 2022 draft. It's Irish Nations.
Oh, I thought it was yours.
No, I don't have mine.
This is a dynasty trade, by the way.
Dynasty, by the way. I don't know who has my first round pick next year. So, top 3 pick for 2022 draft. My pick for 2023, I kept CS Bozos, which is potentially a higher pick. So, Fitzpatrick and Heineke, just, in case, whatever. Michael Thomas, Travis Etienne for Najee Harris, a 2022 early second, and a 2023 second.
I mean, it helps give you some depth at running back right now, especially since ETN was out. Gets that diva Michael Thomas out here.
Yeah, but here's my thought. To me, Harris is going to be better than ETN.
Yeah,
just basically based on offenses. And
I think ETN's going to have some more years that he's viable, but Harris, I think, is going to be better for a shorter amount of time.
Yeah.
Harris had to come out later.
It's fine.
Yeah.
It's fine. Go with it. I'm okay with that.
I mean...
I may have overpaid. People, nobody... Yeah. The chat didn't blow up this time. I was expecting fireworks from a couple of members in the league, but nobody said anything.
It was definitely more fair than I thought initially looking at it.
Okay. Well, he QB needy. I'm also QB needy.
Well, not only that, it helps him. He's a rebuilding. He definitely has to be a rebuilding team.
He's potentially going to have 2 of the top 3, if not top 2 picks in the 2022 draft. He's going to get the best, what he thinks is the best 2 players coming out.
Yep. All right. Well, we'll get to our ESPN pick'em results for this week.
What about the coin last week? The pick'em.
Yeah, for last week.
Oh, I thought you said DFS. Sorry, my bad.
No. So all 4, Devin, me, Ryan, and the coin went 7-8 this week.
That's wild.
Yep. The coin is actually 61 and 61 on the year.
I hope it goes 69, 69.
But
I just want to see evil.
that brings Ryan's overall record to 84 and 38, and mine to 74 and 48.
I'm not really. I was in the 99th percentile of all ESPN picks, and I think I dropped to the 98.
This week was a struggle for us.
Yeah, it was. It's my first losing one.
All right, so we'll move on to our DFS. So we actually had quite a few people join us this week.
That's awesome. Keep it up.
Yeah, we appreciate everybody who's joined in. I do want to say congratulations to Timex2132. They squeaked out a victory over me by I think a little less than 2 points.
Man, it is so bad.
But you ended up fourth out of like 7.
Well, I mean, you beat me by like 48 points.
Yep.
So,
so alluding that, I won 173.94 to 127.84.
Yeah, my math is correct. That's 48 points.
Brings our records both to 4 and 4 on the week, or on the year between us two.
46 points. Sorry, everybody.
All right, so we'll go ahead and jump into our Week 9 previews. So, there's going to be a lot of news that comes out as we go through each of these games.
Man, a lot of moving parts. Tell you what. Well, I already said I'm taking the Colts tonight, so
we already talked about that one. But our Week 9 buys: Detroit Lions, Seattle Seahawks, Tampa Bay Buccaneers, and the Washington Football Team. So there's some good players that you're missing this week.
Yeah, like Hawkins, man.
All right, so our first game on the list, we had the Browns at Bengals. Bengals were 2.5-point favorites. Actually, I have not updated this since Monday.
I am so worried about this game as a Bengals fan. So worried.
I'm going in with no expectations.
I think I got excited when they were, 6-2, I believe it was. Now they're what, 6? Bengals are 6-3.
I mean, I'm not gonna say I didn't get excited, but I'm going in with no expectations. Everything at this point is kind of gravy.
Wait, this is week 9, so they can't be 6-3. They can be 5-3. 5-3.
The Bengals are currently 5-3.
Right.
If the Browns beat the Bengals, they will have the same record.
5-4.
And the Bengals are currently 2.5-point favorites.
Mm.
Some big news coming out of Cleveland though right now.
OBJ wants out.
I don't know. He wants out. Like, I think he does, but he doesn't. But at the same time, he's not really pushing for it. His father posted a 12-minute video.
Baker Mayfield not throwing his son the ball.
Yeah.
Oh, boo-hoo.
LeBron James basically saying free OBJ.
We got to get rid of this.
And now, basically, the word's coming out and that this team has played, that Odell Beckham Jr. has played his last game with the Browns.
Okay, cool. Don't hurt my feelings any.
I mean, what do you think if Odell Beckham Jr. makes it to the Saints?
But he would have to be released by the Browns.
Well, no matter what, he's going to have to go through waivers.
Right.
And so the worst teams have a shot at him first. What if the Giants claimed him?
God, that'd be a crowded room. They got some good talent there.
Not only that, though, do you think he'd really want to play for the Giants again?
He can refuse, right?
I don't think he can refuse. I mean, he can basically say, I'm not playing.
I'm hurt, coach.
Yeah, which he also has that shoulder injury.
Don't put me in the game.
Donovan Peoples-Jones, he was limited yesterday. I really haven't seen the practice report for today. But he seems to be the guy that's going to get more action if Odell Beckham Jr. is out. But I think that puts a huge bump on Landry.
Yeah, he's going to get more looks. You would assume.
As for the Bengals side of this, the Browns are actually a really good run defense. So I think this knocks down Mixon, but this could help the Bengals passing game if you have one of their receivers.
The Browns just seem to have the Bengals number in the regular season. Recently.
I think it's been back and forth. Last year wasn't.
I'm pretty sure the Browns won on a game-winning touchdown pass to Donovan Peoples-Jones last year in Cincinnati, and the Bengals won in Cleveland.
I can't remember for sure. I think 2 years ago, Andy Dalton's last game was against Cleveland, and he ended up beating them, though.
Hey, what's B. Ryan TV? What's up? Hey, we're doing great. How are you doing today, man? Let us know. Let us know. We want to know. I want to know. I'm doing good. Brandon says he's doing good.
I'm making it through.
Right. Been watching Lost a lot. Man, that show's crazy.
Now he's lost.
I am. I've never been found though. So I once was lost. I still am.
So this game, I do want to point out the Browns would seem to have a better win percentage with Odell Beckham Jr. out. So this could be beneficial for them if he's not playing.
What's that trade? We'll get to it after this game, after we make our picks for the pick'em.
So, Ryan, who do you pick to win this game?
Man. I already picked them to win this game. But I fully expect my heart to be broken. The Cincinnati Bengals. At home. I hope they can defend their home turf.
Oh, and the surprise tonight, Marlon Mack is a healthy scratch.
What?
He may be released at some point.
You know what? I got really worried today because I got some weird thing from the Sleeper app that said this affects Marlon Mack.
Yeah, I was wondering what that was all about.
I tried to open it and it wouldn't let me open it, so I went to alerts and stuff, and they were like, "Oh, Jonathan Taylor hurt himself in practice today and is not playing." And I was like, "Well, why would they practice today if they have a
I didn't
game?"
even see that part of it. I clicked on the notification and it just went to one of my leagues.
Yeah, same here. But then I went back and then I scrolled down to alerts and notifications. B. Ryan, what's the trade, man? We'll get to it after we picked our Browns and Bengals.
I haven't actually picked yet.
Oh.
I'm going to go with this way. I'm not disappointed. I mean, I'll probably still be disappointed, but I'm going with the Browns.
Yeah.
They were the team I picked to win this division.
But they just lost to the Steelers.
They did. But the Bengals just lost to the Jets.
Yeah, I think it's a redemption game as well for the Bengals after that embarrassing loss to the Jets. I think this coaching staff specifically, and I'm pointing at the Bengals coaching staff, they have a lot to prove after that loss to the Jets. So I think the game plan is going to be aggressive, and the defense is going to want to regain that. Well, that identity that, hey, we're tough to run against, we're tough to throw against, and we're going to get sacks and we're going to get pressure in the backfield. So,
did you see the Bengals just claim Vernon Hargreaves from the Texans?
That's a corner, right?
Yep.
Yeah, I mean,
well, considering we've been missing Trey Waynes. All right, so our next game, we had the Broncos at Cowboys.
I'm sticking with the Bengals, man.
We had the Broncos at Cowboys. The Cowboys have moved to 10-point favorites.
And they should. I don't think this Broncos team's that good.
Yeah. Some news on this one. Albert O, the tight end for Broncos. He was limited Wednesday. I think he was limited again today. Noah Fant's been placed on the reserve COVID list due to a positive test. I think I did see he is vaccinated, so all he needs is 2 consecutive negative tests as well as showing no symptoms. And CeeDee Lamb, Prescott, and Cooper were all limited yesterday. I know Dak was back to a full today. Cooper's saying he's going to be fine. It's getting better as the week goes on. But CeeDee Lamb was out today.
Look, I'm going to let you know this. When I was 22, 23 years old, I could go out and jump off a building and get real hurt. All right? I never did it, but I'm just saying. I mean, I played through a lot of injuries at his age. Well, not his age because my career was ended short in college. But he's going to recuperate. I think this sprained ankle that's coming out in the news, I think this rest is just saying, hey, he's going to be fine not running the reps. He's going to be fine not out there putting pressure on the ankle. We're going to let it heal for Sunday, and he's going to go Sunday. At least I really, really hope, or else it's Devontae Parker and Brandon Cooks for me in our keeper league.
I mean, I hope he's playing too. I have a lot of shares on my teams of CeeDee Lamb.
Hey, B. Ryan, we'll get to you right after this game, the Cowboys-Broncos.
Ryan, who is your pick to win this game?
Yeah, I'm going to go with the favorites. I'm going to go with the Cowboys, especially at home in Dallas, man. This Bronco team, I still think they're trying to find their identity. They're talented. I just think they're trying to find their identity.
Yep, I'm going with the Cowboys as well. If you want to go ahead and read the...
Okay, so the trade is DeAndre Swift for Saquon and Deontay Johnson. Man, that's tough. I would say I would want to be receiving DeAndre Swift in this trade. If I'm getting DeAndre Swift right now, I would do that in a heartbeat. Just because he's been hurt the last 3 seasons, really. And Deontay Johnson, man, high ceiling, but this offense hasn't proven enough to me. We know Swift is going to get to work, and we know he's going to get his touches, even if it's split time when Jamal Adams comes back. But I still like Swift's floor compared to both these guys' high ceilings.
So, in this one, it kind of depends on where you're sitting right now. I don't think Saquon's going to play this week, and I think they have a bye next week. Right. If you're wide receiver needy, but you're fine at running back, I'm fine taking the Saquon side. Because we know what Saquon can do.
I mean, Saquon's going to be a staple of that offense. So.
And Swift, I mean, if you need a running back, I mean, I'd rather the Swift side, personally.
Yeah, if you need a running back, I think Swift is your better option here.
You mentioned that Saquon's been hurt a lot the last 2 years. He tore his ACL last year. That one's kind of fluky. A lot of people...
I don't know, man. There's been a lot of ACL tears this year.
That's what I'm saying. A lot of people suffer that.
And this is an ankle injury, and it looked like there was a softball in his ankle the last game he played.
2 years ago, he missed 4 games with an ankle injury. He came back after those 4 games. Now, he wasn't himself right away. It took him a while to get going, but he'll have the volume where I think he's going to be usable. Mm-hmm. Either side of this trade, I'm not worried. And, I mean... If you have Booker, if you're good at running back and you need wide receiver help, I'd definitely accept this trade for Saquon and Johnson.
Yeah, if you have Booker, man. Yeah. Oh. I think I'm going to change course and take your side on this. If you have Booker as your backup, he's been very serviceable with Saquon out. Yep. And if you need, like Brandon said, if you need help at wide receiver, this is a good trade to try to get that high ceiling guy.
And we talk about Big Ben, how he's not been great, but Deontay Johnson's mostly a PPR guy. He's getting short routes he's getting those catches, and he can take those
short routes.
Yeah, he can break them for big plays.
I hate to make this, but this reference, this comparison, but Deontay Johnson is a very Henry Ruggs-esque type of guy. He can take the short passes and go the distance.
Henry-esque in college, not necessarily in the NFL.
No, well, we hadn't seen it, so.
Yep. All right, so our next game, the Texans at the Dolphins.
I would say take Saquon and Deontay if you have Booker. Yeah, man, you're doing great.
All right, our next game, Texans at the Dolphins. In this one, the Dolphins are, sorry, I should have updated this last night, 5.5-point favorites. They've actually gone down 1.5. Devontae Parker, he was limited with a shoulder and hamstring injury.
Take it. Send away Swift.
Tua was limited with finger ribs.
Finger ribs.
I just wanted to say.
Whoa!
He has an issue on with think a finger on his left hand.
So it's the throwing hand.
Yep, and his ribs are still kind of bothering him. Mm-hmm. Will Fuller, he won't return this week. As for the Texans side, there's really not much to talk about.
No.
The only one you're
Well, Tyrod Taylor is potentially coming back this week, and I hope so, because I just traded away my QB2 in a dynasty league.
Don't you still have Mills?
Yeah, I have Tyrod Taylor and Davis Mills. I think this Texans offense gets a lot better with Tyrod Taylor at quarterback, even though Mills had a couple good games during his stretch there. But I think Tyrod Taylor coming back, man.
I think it opens up for more yardage in the passing game because Mills was very accurate. He completed a lot of passes. It's just there wasn't a lot of yardage.
Right. And I think the three beneficiaries of Tyrod Taylor coming back are Danny Amendola, Brandon Cooks, and Rex Burkhead at running back, because Phillip Lindsay hasn't been using the passing game a whole lot this season. But hey, man, I picked, and you're gonna be surprised by who I picked.
We'll get to that.
Okay, go.
So I will say the Texans, they have allowed the ninth most fantasy points over expected to their wide receivers. But they've also allowed the fourth most to the perimeter, the sixth fewest to the slot. So that actually, it kind of hurts Jalen Waddle.
And it helps
Devontae Parker.
Yeah, maybe I should play him this week, man, over James Robinson, because the Bills' defense does not like to give up rushing yards.
And I'm not saying sit Waddle, but he's got a tough matchup, but he can still produce.
Yeah, but Hargreaves just left. So who is going to cover Devontae Parker on the outside? Mitchell?
I think it's going to be both Hargreaves and Mitchell. Yeah, it's saying he's going to be both.
But I thought Hargreaves was with the Texans.
Maybe I was thinking maybe I read that
wrong.
And
the Texans just dropped Hargreaves because the Bengals just picked him up.
Oh, okay, I get what you're saying. Yeah.
So it's going to be Mitchell, and Mitchell's not very good.
Yeah, it's going to be Mitchell and somebody else.
Play Devontae
Parker. The Dolphins, they've also allowed the second most fantasy points to wide receivers this season.
Play Brandon Cooks.
Most over the past month and fourth over expected. So, yeah, Cooks is going to be a smash play here, I think.
Play Tua. If you have Tyrod in a super flex league, play Tyrod Taylor. Play the wide receivers for this, man. Well, for the Texans, I would say only Cooks and only Amendola. He looked good last week.
Yeah, I still don't know that I trust Amendola.
It's a deep league. Usually with a 2 QB league, it's a deep league.
Here
you have 3 flex spots.
I might be starting 2 in our keeper league if Taysom Hill can't go.
Might as well.
I dropped Ryan Fitzpatrick because I want to see what that offense looks like before I'd start him.
Dang, dude, you got a great roster, man.
All right, so Ryan, who is your pick for this game?
I'm just looking at this. B. Ryan, you got a really good roster. So, yeah, I would say get rid of Swift, man. When Saquon comes back, he's going to be great. But for the time being, man, Booker is definitely serviceable. And I think Johnson in your flex over Jacoby Myers will help out a lot. But anyway, I'm surprised in the world, man. This Dolphins team just can't win. So I'm going to take the Texans.
I don't think you're surprising the world, but I'm going with the Dolphins as well.
I said the Texans.
I'm going with the Dolphins.
I was going to say, man, I'm going Texans.
All right, so our next game, we have the Falcons at the Saints. The Saints in this one are currently 6.5-point favorites without officially naming a quarterback yet.
Just put whoever you want out there. Kamara will do the rest.
Russell Gage was limited, I know he's limited yesterday. I think he was limited again today.
Oh, okay.
Taysom Hill was limited yesterday, coming back from his concussion. I think he got in week 5. But good news, he practiced in full today, so that's a very good sign that he could be cleared.
Yeah, Trevor Siemian, drop him.
Keep an eye on that still. They haven't officially named Hill the quarterback, but it's presumed that he will be. Michael Thomas, he is ruled out for the year. Jameis Winston, ACL, ruled out for the year. But the big thing I want to pull up here, the Falcons are most likely without Calvin Ridley still.
This kills me. This hurts my bones.
Kyle Pitts, he could be
shadowed. No, don't do it.
He could be shadowed by Lattimore this week.
No, please don't say that. No.
Pitts basically lines up as a wide receiver.
Oh.
And do you think Pitts is better than Tajay Sharp?
No, absolutely not.
Wrong. What about Russell Gage?
No, absolutely not. Lattimore needs to shadow somebody else, not Kyle Pitts.
So, I wouldn't be surprised if Pitts has a down game this week.
So, you're saying I should play Hurst over Pitts?
Watch him mix it up, line up Hurts in the outside, and put Pitts in the tight end spot.
Yeah, just so they can not have Lattimore on him?
Yep.
Hey, buddy.
This game, you got to kind of watch what's going on.
Hey, this is
quarterback.
This is a rivalry game.
It is.
So don't let the Falcons, man. Don't let them sleep. I love them.
Don't let them sleep.
Don't sleep on
them. Find a hotel.
And just play music all night long. Hey, look. I love the Dirty Birds. I don't have any affiliation with them, but I like this program. I got a lot of friends who are from Georgia and love the Falcons. And, man, I like the Saints a lot. And I'm going to go with the Saints, but don't sleep on these birds, man.
Yep. As I was saying, I keep an eye on this quarterback room. I know I'm kind of hoping Taysom Hill plays.
Mm-hmm.
But last year, and I know it's a small sample size.
Couple games, right? 3?
4. Alvin Kamara was an afterthought with Taysom Hill out there. Now, they had Michael Thomas at the time, so who knows? I think Sean Payton, he's smart enough saying, like, okay, we are lacking weapons. We're going to have to get Kamara going in this game.
I hope so.
But I wouldn't be surprised if Kamara is an afterthought.
I need Kamara to have an outstanding year.
And I am picking the Saints as well.
I'm glad we agree for once.
For once?
I don't know.
All right, so our next game, we have the Raiders at the Giants. We're going to get to the big news on this one right away.
Oh, man.
Henry Ruggs has been cut by the Raiders. He was driving over 150 miles, intoxicated.
Over the legal limit, doubled.
Doubled over the legal limit, yep. And there was a fiery crash that killed a lady and her dog.
Look, man.
His career is likely done, as he's spending at least, most likely, a minimum of 2 years, according to the law, in prison.
Look, all I'm going to say is, man, when I was Henry Ruggs' age, I made a very similar mistake. I didn't kill anybody. I didn't get in a wreck or anything. I've seen a lot of disturbing and absolutely disgusting things on the internet, and I want all those people saying Henry Ruggs should be hung by a tree or burned at the stake or whatever the heck they're saying. I want you to come out and say you've never made a mistake. All right, this is a big mistake. I'm not going to downplay it.
It's something he has to live with it too.
There's nothing you can do to this kid that's going to make him feel any worse, and I can tell you that because I've walked in extremely similar shoes. It's not a great feeling. All right, and when you make that mistake and you get caught, there's nothing that can make you feel worse. My condolences are with the victim's family. My condolences are certainly with Henry Ruggs. Nobody goes out and says, I'm going to do this and kill somebody.
Moral of the story here, though, is if you're drinking, get a ride.
Definitely. I will 100%
Uber,
support
taxi,
that.
somebody else.
And my question is, man, we're seeing all this stuff with mental health and everything come out. This was on a Monday night.
I think Tuesday night.
Tuesday, it doesn't matter. It's a weeknight, man. He's got practice and film and weights and all this other stuff. Why?
That was kind of my first thought, too, was there something that's bothering him?
Yeah, it's really sad,
but
man.
I will say his girlfriend was in the car at the time, too.
It's a really sad situation, and nothing's going to make anybody feel better. But let's just keep,
now,
like on social media and everything, keep the hate to your damn self, because I ain't got time for it. I don't like reading that stuff.
So in the end, we are a fantasy football podcast, so we're going to go ahead and jump back into the fantasy ramifications. Man. No, I understand. It is something that needs to be said.
Some of those people, man.
So, I will say Las Vegas is currently 3-point favorites over the Giants.
Mm-hmm.
But missing Ruggs, that gives a bump to at least Renfro, if not Bryan Edwards.
Yeah, and another guy to keep an eye on is Zay Jones. He's a seasoned veteran. I'm not saying throw him in your lineup now,
but keep an eye on, or even possibly pick him up if you have the spot.
Right, and I did just throwing a dart in the dark.
I would still say he's more of a dynasty deep league stash.
Well, that's where I picked him up.
Yeah.
Man. But hey, I'm saying, man, they still have Waller, like you said, Renfro and Bryan Edwards. Somebody's gonna have to step up to help Waller.
Yep.
So I would like to see if you.
I don't know. Actually, Waller might prove that he doesn't need anybody to step up for him.
I mean, he hasn't done all that great the last couple games.
But
so
no tight end really has.
Well, TJ Hawkinson.
Yeah, Waller was back at practice today, this week, so that's good news.
Yeah.
As for the other side of this game, the Giants, there's been a mess with this one. Saquon Barkley was placed on the COVID list. He's been taken off. So apparently what happened is they do a rapid test. He tested positive, along with like 13 other people. And that kind of throws up some red flags. They tested it again to make sure. And he just happened to still have to go through the protocol. I think he's already been cleared and he's back to practice with the team. But as I said, I don't think he plays this week. He's missed half of the week of practice. He's missed rehab for that ankle. And from what they were saying, they were posting videos of him practicing last week.
Mm-hmm.
And you see players going through their stretches, like they'll sprint and then turn around and like backpedal. He was only doing the straight line stuff. He didn't turn or anything.
Yeah, you don't want to risk it.
So I think he's out for at least enough for this week, and I think they have the bye next week. Kadarius Toney, he was limited with his thumb injury. Sterling Shepard, he didn't practice. I think that's going to be an extended injury. Kenny Galladay, he didn't practice yesterday, but I think he was limited today. So, Ryan, who's your pick to win this game?
I'm going to go with my boy Derek Carrier's Raiders.
I am going to go with the Raiders as well. Actually, no, I'm going to go with the Giants. I think it's going to be tough for the Raiders. They've had an emotional couple weeks.
Yeah, and somebody I'm going to reference that this happened to a while ago was the Cincinnati Bengals with Chris Henry, and they came out and whipped some tail of a team they didn't have any. These emotions, yeah, they're going to go one way or the other, right?
Yep.
And usually, if history repeats itself, it's going to be the Raiders.
Fair. I just think the Giants are actually a better team than people give credit for. They're a better defense.
But we'll see, man.
But, I mean, it's a toss-up, and you said it earlier today. This is a hard week to pick.
It's a hard week to pick. I think we've picked 3 games separate already.
Well, hopefully I get all 3 of those and inch closer to you.
Ain't happening, brother.
All right, so our next game, the Patriots at the Panthers. Nick Folk was limited yesterday with a knee injury.
Isn't that the kicker?
Yep.
Why are we worried about kickers?
Because people roster kickers still.
I only have one.
I know. Even though you always say you like kickers.
Kickers are the best. They're the toughest.
Jonnu Smith was limited Wednesday with a shoulder injury. Good news for the McCaffrey owners. He was back this week. They did say he was very limited yesterday.
The bad news is Sam Darnold has a concussion.
If McCaffrey's out there, he is going to see a lightened workload most likely. Mm-hmm. So, if they both play, I'd be willing to start McCaffrey still. I wouldn't worry about Hubbard. But if McCaffrey sits, then I would play Hubbard.
I would definitely sit Hubbard if CMC is back.
You mentioned Sam Darnold. He's suffering from a concussion and a right shoulder injury. He was limited yesterday. He was limited again today.
They just give him a week off so he's not out there seeing ghosts.
When are you going to retire that?
Never, because I didn't say it.
You did say it.
Nuh-uh, it's hilarious.
But
we can get any more messages?
No, we got any more messages.
Okay, because I accidentally paused my video.
Oopsies. If he doesn't go, PJ Walker's playing. This week, though, New England figures to prioritize matchups against DJ Moore.
Yeah.
And he's a strong bet that J.C. Jackson will shadow the coverage on him. J.C. Jackson's been very effective as a DB, and the Patriots are good at cutting down
their best player.
The best player on the other team.
Yeah, opponent's best player. Yeah, man. This Patriots team is surprisingly okay.
Yeah, they're not bad.
No.
And I'm going to give Ryan's pick because I'm 90% sure he picked this because he said he's never picking against the Panthers again.
He's right.
Or picking the Panthers again. He's going with the Patriots.
That's right.
Even though he picked against the Panthers last week and the Panthers won.
That's right.
And I'm going with the Patriots as well.
That's right. I have nothing else to say. Oh, can we skip this one?
The Bills and Jaguars?
If the Jags win this game, it's going to be probably one of the biggest upsets all year.
Well, yes, because the Bills are currently 14.5-point favorites.
Yeah, that's a lot.
Cole Beasley, he didn't practice yesterday with a rib injury.
It's because he's old.
Dawson Knox didn't practice with a hand injury. I don't think he's going to be back this week.
He had surgery on it, right?
Yeah, but there was a chance he could have been back this week. That's why they didn't put him on the IR.
Don't play him against the Jaguars if you don't need him.
Other than that, there's not much news injury-wise. The Jaguars have actually allowed the 7th most fantasy points to wideouts. Including the 7th most to the perimeter and 12th most to the slot. So basically what that's saying, start your Bills receivers.
Emmanuel Sanders,
Diggs
Cole
and Beasley.
Stephon Diggs.
And as for the Bills, they've been very dominant on defense, and they've allowed the fewest fantasy points overall, as well as the second fewest to the perimeter receivers.
Mm-hmm.
They've also allowed the second fewest receiving yards, the fewest touchdowns, the fewest receiving touchdowns of wide receivers, with only 2.
Phew.
The lowest yards per target, 5.6.
What about the rush defense? What can you tell me about that? Sorry, James Robinson. If he plays, I can't just pull him.
You're starting James Robinson, but it wouldn't be surprise me if this was a down game for him. But the Bills have also allowed the second lowest catch rate of 58%. So basically what I'm saying is it's going to be tough to start a Jaguars receiver, as it has been all year.
Yeah. I mean, you might want to play Lawrence just because he throws a lot if you have to because of the bye weeks, but he wouldn't be my first choice to play.
No, he's actually somebody I'm probably avoiding this week.
This year. It depends on the opponent. I guess you're right there.
I mean, he still plays Houston, I think, one more time.
I'm playing the Bills.
You're playing the Bills?
I'm picking the Bills.
I am picking the Bills as well.
Let's get on with it. Get on with it! Oh, man, look at this next matchup. The Purple People Eaters versus the Purple People Eaters.
The Vikings versus the Ravens. They kind of clarify that for everybody. Ryan might be a little drunk. He hasn't drank since
I'm
Sunday.
not even close. I'm slap happy, people. I haven't slept in weeks. Probably 2 weeks exactly.
Baltimore is currently 6-point favorites.
Wow.
Not much injury news wise.
No.
Watkins didn't practice. Murray didn't practice with the ankle issue. I mean, you're starting the usual players here. Jackson,
Kirk
Cousins, Dalvin Cook, Jefferson,
Adam Thielen,
Conklin.
Conklin, I think, is working his way into a tight end.
Yep.
Tight end one. Conversation.
Andrews and Hollywood Brown. You could be able to squeeze Rashad Bateman in there too, as well.
I would say in deeper leagues for now, but give him some time to prove himself. Yeah. The
All right.
Ravens.
You're picking the Ravens?
Yeah. The Vikings. I feel like they're just given so much benefit of the doubt. They've only beat bad teams. I don't know.
They, I think, lost 3 overtime games of this year.
Yeah, they can't finish, man.
So what you're saying, they're like a 7-11?
Yeah.
They never close?
They never close.
All right, I am going with the Raiders as well. So our next game...
What? This over-under is insane.
The over-under?
Or spread is insane.
Well, it's going to get even closer because the Chargers are currently 1.5-point favorites at the Eagles.
What? I'll do my best Chris Berman impression. What? Even though it's...
So Justin Herbert, he was limited yesterday. He was full practice today. He's suffering from a hand injury.
Oh no, poor baby.
Other than that, there's not much news injury-wise here. I will say the Chargers, they're a team that can be had on the ground. So I wouldn't be surprised to see Howard or... Excuse my co-host here.
Had on the ground, yeah. You can have their way with them on the ground, but not standing up or through the air.
So it wouldn't surprise me to see Boston Scott or Jordan Howard to have a bigger game here.
No Mile High Club, though. Because you have your way with them on the ground.
Excuse my co-host, please.
Oh, come on. I'm slap happy. Let's have fun with the show.
But as for the other side, the Eagles have actually been pretty good at defending the pass. Mike Williams, he should be shadowed by Darius Slay. The Eagles have allowed the 3rd fewest fantasy points, including the fewest to the perimeter and 7th fewest to the slot. So you're not benching Mike Williams, you're not benching Keenan Allen, but expect a little bit of a down week for him.
Yeah.
As for the
Jared Cook might be a good play this week.
He could. As for the Chargers, they have allowed the 2nd fewest fantasy points to the wide receiver position straight up. And so, yeah, Hurts and maybe a running back and Goddard are the only ones you're considering starting for the Eagles.
Why not? Why not Devonta Smith?
Because the Chargers have allowed the second fewest fantasy points to receivers, and Devonta Smith really has not broken out this year.
Rules are meant to be broken.
This isn't a rule.
Trends are meant to be broken. Think about the 80s, the 90s.
I understand
I'm
that.
just giving you a hard time, all right? I'm giving you a hard time.
I know. But
God.
I'm still saying Devonta Smith really hasn't been productive this year.
I'm going to go with the Chargers.
I'm going to go with the Chargers as well.
He hasn't been productive yet.
That still goes with what I said. He hasn't been productive so far this year.
Yet. You always do that to me, so I'm doing it back. It doesn't feel very good, does it?
Actually, I usually go so far.
No, you
This
go
is
too
the best
far.
day of your life so far.
You go too far.
Our next game, the Packers at the Chiefs.
Uh-oh.
The Chiefs have moved to 7.5-point favorites, with Jordan Love being the starter for the Packers this week.
Look, man, you're not going to have any, the Rodgers rate in this game.
Yeah, Allstate's got to be kind of frustrated.
Ah.
They're losing out on the Rodgers-Mahomes matchup.
Yeah, they really are. The Allstate commercials are going to be...
Rodgers was placed on the reserve COVID list due to a positive test. I think he is out for a minimum of 8 days.
Because he's not vaccinated.
He's not vaccinated to the NFL's liking. He went with a homeopathic method that I guess in real life considers you vaccinated. I don't know any more details than that, but
Look, man, this thing's all crazy because everybody can spread it. Vaccinated, nah, it doesn't really matter. Rules are rules. It sucks, right?
But the good news is the Packers are supposed to have Devontae Adams back.
Does it really help Jordan Love, though? How much time has he worked with?
Yes, it's going to help Jordan Love. You can't tell me, are you going to have a better day throwing passes to me or Devontae Adams?
Well, you're slow.
Still.
And Devontae Adams is very fast.
Still.
I don't know if I can throw the ball far enough for Devontae Adams. Not anymore, at least.
It's a good thing for Jordan Love.
I just like giving you a really hard time and not giving you the answers that you want.
I know. But this could be a better game on the ground for the Packers, so you could see more of A.J. Dillon and Aaron Jones.
I hope more Aaron Jones than
But
A.J. Dillon.
I will say, I am kind of excited to see what Jordan Love can do for the Packers in his first live game action.
Yeah, maybe Aaron Rodgers finds a new home next year.
That's been on the docket since this all season.
The Saints. How insane would that be if Aaron Rodgers ended up with the Saints?
He's been a potential they've been a potential landing spot for him, as well as the Steelers, the Broncos.
Dude, I don't want to see him with the Steelers.
I don't want to see him there either. Other than that, I mean, the Chiefs have a bad defense.
I gotta look at this.
Ryan, who's
you're
your
right.
pick for this game?
Man. Chiefs have a bad defense, but they played pretty good last week. I gotta go with the Chiefs this game.
I am going with the Chiefs as well.
Sorry.
If Rodgers was there, I probably wouldn't be picking the Chiefs, but
Right.
with him out, I think it's...
Yeah, before this, man, I had Packers all the way, but no, it's the Chiefs. And the last time I did that change, the team I initially picked won, so maybe I should go back and pick the Packers. I don't know. I have to think about it. But right now, I'm going to say Chiefs.
Well, you got to the end of the podcast to make that change.
I'm going to go with the Chiefs.
All right, so our next game, the Cardinals at the 49ers. The San Francisco 49ers are now 2-point favorites.
Why?
Well, it could be that DeAndre Hopkins and Kyler Murray are huge questions for this week.
Now, that's because people are betting on the 49ers, right? That's why they're 2.5-point favorites. Vegas says so.
Yeah, people betted it from 2.5-point favorites from the Cardinals to 2-point favorites for the 49ers.
Oh, man, I should have waited to place parlay bets.
Chase Edmonds, he was limited with the shoulder injury. He's been playing even through limited issues.
Yeah.
As we said, though, Hopkins and Murray have both not practiced yet this week. Kingsbury did say earlier in his career, Murray couldn't have gone a week without practicing and been the starter. Now he's comfortable doing that.
Yeah, I have stock in Murray in a Dynasty League and a Keeper League, and I open it up every day. Is Murray playing? Is Murray playing? Is Murray playing? And Kingsbury they have that quote there saying he'll be fine even if he doesn't practice all week. So if he thinks he can go on Sunday, we're going to play him on Sunday.
I will say a lot of Murray's points come on the ground, and he's probably not going to be not as much this year, but
not this year.
He's probably going to lose some of his mobility, which he still has to scramble quite a bit and move to make those passes.
And he hasn't been all that great this year.
So it could be a down game for Murray, even if he does play.
Yeah, I'm still hoping for the best.
AJ Green, he is placed on the reserve COVID list due to a positive test. As for the 49ers, Jeff Wilson Jr. and George Kittle was designated to return this week.
But did they?
Can't say they do. This just opens up the practice time for them. So they have 3 weeks before they have to determine, or before they have to put them back on the roster. Deebo Samuel didn't practice Wednesday. Elijah Mitchell didn't practice. Deebo didn't practice last week and played. He'll be fine. Mm-hmm. Elijah Mitchell, he is practicing today, but I heard he had the blue jersey on, the non-contact jersey.
Hey, yeah, you're just protecting your best guys right now. So
if Mitchell doesn't play, it'll come down to JaMychal Hasty and Trey Sermon. So we could also see quite a bit of Kyle Juszczyk. I will say, though, I do think this is a good game for Edmonds and Connor.
Yeah.
The 49ers defense can be run on, and with Murray hobbled a bit, they could rely on the run.
I think Murray's kind of selling it because they lost. You know how players like to act hurt?
So you're saying Murray's a diva?
Kinda. I think it's all psychological warfare, man.
Warfare, okay.
So what if the media leaves the open portion to the media part and Murray's out there just throwing dimes and running all over people?
They still have to list him as limited.
I don't think so.
They do. Because he practiced.
Rules are meant to be broken. Anyway.
Rules are meant to be followed.
Cardinals.
Ryan's trying to be seductive on the microphone.
Oh, yeah.
I am going with the Cardinals as well.
The Bruins scored. Cool.
All right.
CBS.
So the Sunday night game, we had the Titans at the Rams. The Rams are now 7.5-point favorites.
Yeah, I mean, losing Derrick Henry really just woofed up.
Julio Jones, he was limited Wednesday. As for the Rams, Robert Woods and Stafford didn't practice yesterday. Stafford had a sore back. He's going to be fine. Robert Woods are saying it was a foot issue. I think it's more of a veteran rest day.
Mm-hmm.
They cut Deshaun Jackson. So, I mean, that opens up more for Van Jefferson.
Raiders could look for Deshaun Jackson.
Yeah, I told you this last night.
Oh, that's very sleepy.
As for the Titans, I think Jeremy McNichols is going to lead the backfield this week.
This week, yes.
Because Peterson's, he's had a short week. And actually, McNichols was a very good running back in college.
Yeah, and he's a great PPR guy this year.
So he may actually take the lead on this backfield for the rest of the year.
I think he will, and Adrian Peterson will be kind of second series, third.
I still think it's going to be a split, but I think it's going to be McNichols' lead.
Yeah, you're right. But I can't wait to see what AP does. Sports, baseball stuff. What's up, man? Bloth, 80? I have no idea. Hey, me neither. I have no idea either. I really don't.
All right, so as for this, the Titans, while they've been better, they're still not a good defense.
But it's football, not baseball.
Well, I'm talking Titans here.
No, I'm talking to their Bloth, 80. Bloth, 80.
I can't see what he says on ESPN.
He said sports, baseball, stuff. I have no idea. Yeah, I have no idea either. We're talking about football.
All right, so Robert Woods,
that's okay.
Justin Jefferson, and Cooper Kupp can all be upgraded against this defense because the Titans have allowed the most targets, receptions, receiving yards, end zone targets, and fantasy points to wide receivers this season.
Look. Cooper Kupp has no... He doesn't need any help. Robert Woods doesn't need any help.
Cooper Kupp has outscored his 2020 season already.
Look, the Rams' passing offense doesn't need any help. So that stat just doesn't make any... We don't need that.
I'm just saying, it upgrades them, and it gives Jefferson a very potential spot start if you need him.
I suppose. Hey, you think I could get Cooper Kupp in a redraft league for Jonathan Taylor?
Definitely.
Cool.
I don't think so. I think Cup's been the number one receiver. If somebody has him, they're not parting with him.
Yeah, but the Cup manager just lost Derrick Henry.
Yes, but Cooper, you're going to have to pay more than that.
Yeah, we'll see.
Cooper Kupp is the leading non-quarterback scorer for fantasy.
That's pretty insane.
So, who is your pick to win this game?
I got to go with the Rams, man. I would have considered if Derrick Henry was there to control the clock and everything, but because Derrick Henry's just a man amongst little boys.
Yep. I will say, the Rams got even scarier. They just traded for Von Miller. I put Aaron Donald and Von Miller on that defensive line.
If Von Miller's little antics about a Halloween party can be subsided and ignored and forgotten, yeah, this defense is going to be crazy either way.
I was seeing a joke. Like, who was the Rams' last number one pick, first round pick?
Jared Goff.
Yeah, they saw what that guy could do and they decided, we're not going to take picks
Never again. We're just going to trade our picks away and go get the superstars.
All right, so I'm taking the Rams as well. So our last game, the Monday night game, we had the Chicago Bears at the Pittsburgh Steelers. And the Steelers are still 6.5-point favorites. There's not been a lot of news that's come out injury-wise on this, as it is the Monday night game. They don't usually start practice until today. But Damian Williams, he left Sunday's game with a knee injury. But they're saying David Montgomery could be back this week.
They'll be fine.
If David Montgomery comes back, like I said, I think Tariq Cohen's going to have a role, but I don't think he's going to be startable.
No, he's not playable unless it's a deep league flex. His only value is receptions in a PPR league. A standard league, not very good.
So, I mean, as for this, Montgomery may be the only person I'm considering starting on the Bears.
Yeah.
Steelers, you're starting Najee. I think I saw Eric Ebron was limited today. I'd take a flyer on Freiermuth because of it.
Yeah, Freiermuth is really solidifying his spot in this offense, man. Ben Roethlisberger's old arm can't get the ball down the field that well, so he needs those short passes, and Freiermuth steps up, especially when they're in the red zone.
I mean, Najee and Johnson are also solid plays here, I think.
Oh, yeah. Chase Claypool, and I would say in deeper leagues, but like a 12, 14 team league at the flex, wide receiver 3.
Mm-hmm. I'm not really sold on Claypool. I think he's better than I thought he was going to be, but
look, I'm not sold on him either. But if you really need help at the flex position, I mean, Claypool's not a bad option, especially against this Bears defense. Man, this defense isn't very good.
It's still good, and they still have Khalil Mack. It's just it's hard to be a good defense when you're on the field most of the game because your offense is inept.
Volume plus opportunity equals success.
I mean, we've seen it in the past with Bengals. The defense hasn't been bad, but they've been on the field so much.
You get tired, man.
Yep.
It gets playing defense is more exhausting than playing offense. I don't care what anybody
playing
says.
Defense is more fun than playing offense on the offensive line, at least.
Well, my experience is quarterback to corner to outside linebacker. So
mine was offensive line to defensive line in high school, and just defense was so much more fun. It's, okay, I got to fill this gap. Okay, find the ball. Ball.
I played quarterback in high school. 2 weeks into my freshman season in college, I was moved to corner, and then my senior year, I was moved to outside linebacker 2 games before our first game of the season due to an injury. I was a 185-pound outside linebacker. I loved it. That was fun, but I'd rather play quarterback.
Hey, he also played on the offensive line. He was a long snapper.
I was a long snapper on punt. Not for field goal, though. I don't know why.
All right, so, well, I think you have to be a little more... You have to be able to block a little bit better.
Our 4-time All-American middle linebacker was our long snapper on field goal.
All right, so who is your pick for this game?
I'm going to go, as much as it pains me, with the Steelers.
Yep, I chose the Steelers as well. All right, and that's going to wrap up our Week 9 preview.
So we picked all but one AFC North team because 2 AFC North teams are playing each other.
Yeah.
And we picked the opposite for one of them.
Yep, so that wraps up our Week 9 preview. Once again, we do plan on being back Saturday. Hopefully Ryan's not as slap happy because this is more his.
Yeah,
that's going to be more his podcast.
Every night I go to sleep, even though I don't believe, I pray to God, just let me fall asleep. Maybe if I believed, he'd let me fall asleep. I don't know, but this has been going on for a while, so.
So yeah, we plan on being back sometime Saturday, mid to late day.
I got some yard work to do, and
then we'll be back Monday again with our Week 9 recap.
We got a lot of stuff going on.
Other than that, please like us on Facebook, Twitter, subscribe and like on YouTube, share our videos, share our Anchor, Google Play, Spotify podcast.
Yeah, man. It'd be awesome.
Anything to help us grow, and we appreciate you guys
chiming in,
especially during the podcast. And I do like making this more interactive.
Yeah, it's pretty fun. Definitely. Mucho fun day. How do you say much fun in Spanish?
I don't know what fun is anymore. It's been a long time since I took Spanish.
Mucho fun. Grande fun.
We'll kind of wrap that up there. We appreciate you guys, and you guys have a good night.
Enjoy the game. I really need sleep, dude. Are you mad at me? Why are you mad at me? You're just trying to have fun. Alright, fine then.
Mucho diversión.
Mucho what?
Diversión.
Diversion?
Mucha diversión.
That doesn't make any sense.